Money does equal happiness. It doesn't matter what rich people tell you. That happiness doesn't necessarily come from the amount of money that you have, but the amount of control that you have of your money. In this video, we're going to get into the things that cause financial stress, and we're going to go over 4 ways that you can make your relationship with money better. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Financial Wellness Planning. My name is Derek Coffey, and I'm the founder of FWP. And in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, I think we should have a conversation about your money and your mental health. Earlier this month, Bankrate put out the results of a survey they did where they asked people how their money affected their mental health. What they found is that 47% of the people that responded to the survey said that money negatively affected their mental well-being. What makes this worse is that those individuals that responded said that money caused them more mental stress than their own physical well-being. The top items that were causing these people to lose sleep included inflation, not being able to pay for the things that they need, their lack of an emergency fund, and their debt. Inflation's not going away. The numbers have come down marginally, but the unfortunate part is those numbers don't include food and fuel. As tensions in the Middle East continue to get worse and we get into the summer travel season, the price of fuel isn't going down anytime soon, and the price of groceries still continues to increase. One of the other sneaky inflation issues is from your home and auto insurances. Over the last year, home and auto premiums have gone up over 10%, and a lot of this increase is due to natural disasters and distracted driving. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that, and the premiums that we pay are going to continue to go up. The necessities that we're talking about include the food, the fuel, and the insurance coverages. Without those, we can't live. We're not protected the way that we need to be. And we're not talking about increased rents or increased home prices. We're only talking about things to fuel our body, fuel our vehicles, and protect us from the things that we can't control. When it comes to emergency savings, 2/3 of Americans can no longer afford a $500 emergency. One blown tire or a trip to the emergency room could easily cost you over $500. So not having the ability to pay for an emergency that pops up out of nowhere is certainly going to cause stress. No matter how you view debt, debt equals stress. Mortgage loans, car loans, student loans, credit cards, all of that debt that hangs over you and you know that you have to make those monthly payments is going to cause you stress. It's going to affect you mentally. And at this moment, with interest rates being so high, there aren't very many options to consolidate your debt and alleviate some of the strain on your monthly cash flow. And this is especially true if you don't own a home. Now, if you do own a home, it may be possible for you to refinance your mortgage, even at a 7.5% interest rate, and consolidate your debt. Doing this could alleviate some of that strain on your cash flow. If you're not sure if that's the right option for you, I'm going to put a link in the description to a video that I did going over if you should refinance your home to consolidate your debt. When it comes to money and your mental health, there are 4 tips that Bankrate mentioned in the same exact study that they did last year. The first one is focusing on the things that you can control. You can't control inflation. Inflation is still going to happen. Your mortgage, your car loan, your student loan debts, those are debts that you've already incurred, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Now, your credit card debt, on the other hand, is something that is a little bit more in your control. Put your credit card away. Unlink it from all of the sites that you purchase things from. Unlinking your credit card is going to make it a little bit more difficult for you to spend that money. Another thing to do is get rid of Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or any of those other things that allows you to transfer money without thinking about it. The fortunate part about those apps is it does make transferring money between individuals easier. The unfortunate part about it is those apps allow people to transfer money to one another without thinking about it. These services are great, but it allows spending money to happen way too easy. You can also control who you hang out with. Peer pressure is one of the largest contributors to overspending. The clothes you wear, the shoes you wear, the cup you drink out of are all going to be affected by who you hang out with. If you feel pressured to fit a certain profile to fit in with your friend group, then find new friends. Find people that think more like you. Ideally, the ones that don't spend a lot of money on stuff that doesn't matter. The other thing that you can control is buying gifts for people. And I know this is kind of random, but it's something that happens all year long, especially if you're a female. Once you reach adulthood, you don't need gifts anymore. I understand that there's a happiness that comes from giving people stuff. I feel the same way when I donate money to causes, but there is a point where cash gets tight, and so should your giving. Instead of wasting money on gifts, get together as a group and have dinner. Everyone contribute a dish, everyone bring their adult beverage of choice, and just enjoy the evening together. Instead of you spending $50 on a gift, and then your friend spending $50 on a gift, and then worrying about if you're going to be judged on the gift that you gave, you could have instead just gotten together, had a meal together, and just enjoyed each other's company. The second thing that you can do is prioritize your necessities and cut your miscellaneous spending. The easiest way to do this is practice conscious spending. And what this means is accounting for every dollar that you spend. If you know that you're going to write down every dollar that you spend for a certain period of time, you're going to be conscious of what you're spending money on. Price shop everything. If you're thinking of buying something, look at 2 or 3 other places to buy that same item. You may be able to save yourself a significant amount of money on the things that you want to purchase. Get your home and auto insurances requoted. If you haven't had your home and auto insurances requoted within the last 3 to 5 years, then do so. You may be able to find the same level of coverage at a cheaper rate. And this is especially true if you're 3 to 5 years removed from a claim. If you were at fault in an accident or you had a DUI in the past, you may be to a point where it's fallen off your record. So you could go out, find another insurance provider, and save yourself a significant amount of money. Next is look into grocery stores. If you're not using Walmart or Aldi, then maybe you should reconsider. Now, I understand there is a perceived quality issue when it comes to the major grocery store chains, but you can still find the things that you need at much cheaper prices. The third thing that you can do to get yourself right with your money is build an emergency fund. In an emergency fund, at least what I advise people to do is to have $1,000 per person in their household. So if it's just you, set aside $1,000. If it's you and a spouse, find $2,000. But setting aside $1,000 per person in your household is going to let you sleep a little bit better at night. Now, I know what you're thinking. We already have a rough relationship with money. How are we going to get there? Well, if you've already gone through the first 2 steps, then your relationship with your money is beginning to change. So any savings that you were able to find by making those changes in your life, start putting that towards your emergency fund. The final thing that you can do to help relieve some of that stress when it comes to your money is to get your debt under control. If you were able to set aside $1,000 per person in your household, you can repurpose that money into getting rid of some of your debt. Now, I am a fan of the snowball method, and this was popularized by Dave Ramsey, but the premise of the snowball method is to pay off your smallest debt first. Now, I understand you're probably going to pay more in interest than if you were to use another debt payoff strategy, but the chances of you sticking with the snowball method is much higher simply because you're going to experience those small victories much sooner. By getting rid of that debt cloud that hangs over your life, the level of stress that you feel when it comes to your money and your financial situation is going to go down. Now, if you're looking for a more organized way to get your finances in order, I do have an 8-week financial wellness program on my website, and I'm going to put a link to that in the description of the video. The program is free. I don't even want your email address. I will give you everything that you need to get a handle on your finances within 8 weeks. No, you're not going to be a millionaire at the end of 8 weeks. You're not even going to be debt-free in a lot of cases at the end of those 8 weeks. But it is designed to help you have a better relationship with your money. Getting control of your money is what leads to happiness. The only way to get that control is to get your hands dirty and dive into your cash flow. Once you know what your money is doing, that's when you can start building for a better financial future. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If this video or any of the other videos that I've put out has provided you value, then hit that subscribe button. If you know someone that is overly stressed and they're struggling with their money, then send this video to them. Maybe it'll help them out. But thank you again for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon.